All right, so as you can probably tell from the title, I'm probably going to make a controversial video, but I want to talk about why I'm not a big fan at all of the Raspberry Pi 4 and, you know, just using it in general. Um, the thing that I don't like about the Raspberry Pi 4 is it gives off this impression that it is a capable desktop replacement. And the thing about it that gets me is it's almost a very capable desktop replacement. Like, I really like the Raspberry Pi Zero, the wireless one, and the regular one, because they don't give you this type of impression like, hey, you could take this and turn it into a capable desktop replacement and use it for, the average person's use case, which is browsing the web, maybe, installing GIMP to edit some photos, that type of thing. The Raspberry Pi 4, my problem with it is it's so close to being a good desktop replacement, but so like tantalizingly close to being there, but just not, it's not fully there. Like, you get a good experience with the Raspberry Pi 4, but the web browsing is just slow. Overall it's just a slow system, which I think the thing about the Raspberry Pi 4 that makes it so awesome and so unique is, for one, obviously its price. I mean, it's super cheap, but the fact that it could become a capable desktop replacement is what makes it so good. The reason why I'm making this video is mainly because I saw something talking about the Raspberry Pi 4, and I just spurred this, idea for making this video, so I just wanted to go ahead and make it. But I don't like the Raspberry Pi 4, and it's not because it's a bad piece of hardware. I don't like it because I feel like it's exactly like Apple and the M1 chip. It's a good chip, it's just, it's the first generation, so it's going to take some time before it gets to where it should be. And the thing about Raspberry Pi 4 and the 3 and everything is, it's not a first generation product. However, I feel like it hasn't hit its full potential quite yet. And the thing that upsets me about the Pi 4 is it feels like we are not just on the next step to being able to get it, exactly where it needs to be. Like, it's so close to really good performance and being able to be that desktop replacement that most people need or want. So it upsets me because it's so close to being so much more than it is right now. And like that's sort of the thing that irks me about the Raspberry Pi 4 is like the Raspberry Pi 3 was, I mean, it could do plenty, and it had some good performance, for what it was. That being said, I feel like the Raspberry Pi 4 is going to be this, when it comes to history, it's going to be looked back on this sort of weird in-between product that's better than the Raspberry Pi 3, but nowhere near as good as the Raspberry Pi 5 should be. I won't say will be. Hopefully it'll be that good. But yeah, so hopefully this didn't, tick you off and we're like, what? You don't like the Raspberry Pi 4? I mean, I don't think it's a bad piece of hardware. It's just it irks me because I feel like it's so close to being one of the best, pieces of hardware we've seen for a while. It's just it's not quite there. And hopefully the next iteration of the Raspberry Pi, which I would assume is going to be the Pi 5, will be better. But who knows? Let me know what you think of this, discussion. Let me know if you think that just, my desire for it to be a desktop replacement is stupid, and I know the Raspberry Pi is much more than, potential desktop replacement. But that's the thing for me. That's why I think it'd be great. I think a $60 potentially full-fledged computer for someone is, you know, like what we need. And the only reason I say $60 is because I feel like to get the performance that would make it, you know, what I think the product should be, probably needs, the price will probably have to go up to get that type of hardware, you know, that better hardware in there. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you completely agree with me or disagree with me. And we got a car going. But yeah, if you like the video, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.